Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm Lang Zhang. Here's a preview of some of today's stories. One of the sheriff recruits in Los Angeles is in grave condition after an SUV collided into the officer's transportation. The driver's attorney says he was asleep at the wheel. Unemployment is climbing in the Golden State. We'll break down the numbers and see where people are having trouble finding work. And state reservoirs are hitting their lowest levels on record. That's as an extreme drought drags on throughout the Southwest. In an appeals court, a judge ruled in favor of a parents' group against the school district. That was over COVID jab mandates for children. The ruling declares that California schools would not be able to set their own COVID jab mandates. Only the state can make the decision. One of the Los Angeles sheriff recruits who was recently hit by an SUV is in grave condition. That's as a result of the SUV driver being asleep behind the wheel, according to his attorney.
In a tweet on Sunday, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department said Alejandro Martinez, one of the 25 recruits who were injured last week, suffered setbacks and is in grave condition. He is one of the 4 who are in critical condition. The rest of the officers involved have been released from the hospital. An attorney for Nicholas Joseph Gutierrez, the 22-year-old driver, claims he fell asleep at the wheel when he drove on the wrong lane and plowed into the training recruits, saying the incident was not intentional. The attorney, Alexandra Kazarian, told LA Magazine that Gutierrez came from a law enforcement family, and he is, quote, a hardworking young man who lives with his parents and installs solar panels for a living. NTD reached out to Kazarian for comment. Last Friday, the LA Sheriff's Department believed the accident was intentional. Gutierrez was released from custody last Thursday evening. He has been charged with suspicion of attempted murder of a peace officer. The investigation is ongoing.
A California couple that have fled to Europe was extradited back to the United States. Authorities convicted the couple of stealing millions in COVID-19 aid money.
Richard Ivazian and his wife, Marietta Terabellian, arrived in Los Angeles on Thursday. They were extradited from the Balkan country of Montenegro, where they were living in a luxury seaside villa before their arrest in February. Prosecutors said the couple and 6 accomplices received $18 million in COVID-19 aid money. They used fake identities belonging to dead or elderly people and foreign exchange students. With those identities, they fraudulently applied for about 150 relief loans intended for businesses and employees during the COVID-19 lockdown. The couple was convicted in June 2021 of conspiracy to commit bank fraud and other federal crimes. Authorities said that 2 months later, while free on bond, the couple cut off their ankle monitors and fled, leaving behind their 3 teenage children. While on the run, a Los Angeles court sentenced Ivazian to 17 years in federal prison and Terabellian to 6 years.
Despite a hiring boom in some industry sectors, California's unemployment rate saw an increase over the last month. Here's a look at the numbers.
According to the State Employment Development Department, California's unemployment rate increased to 4% in October compared to 3.8% in September. State government hiring fell for the 3rd month straight. There were 100 fewer farm jobs in October from September. The ongoing lack of rain and drought is hammering California's farm sector. Meanwhile, California employers added almost 57,000 non-farm payroll jobs in October. Education, healthcare, professional and business services have topped the list of growth. This hiring boom in part came from strong demand for accounting, tax prep, and bookkeeping services. California's 58 counties reflected uneven employment rates in October. San Mateo saw a 2% unemployment rate, while Imperial County had a 16.2% rate. According to the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics, the national jobless rate was 3.7% in October compared to September's 3.5%. Unemployment rates rose in 24 states last month.
A man in Los Angeles is in critical condition after being shot over the weekend. Authorities suspect that the man was likely the Crown Prince of Korea.
Last Friday, authorities in Los Angeles responded to a robbery that left a man hospitalized in critical condition. According to authorities, 2 armed suspects shot the man in front of an apartment complex a few blocks west of MacArthur Park and stole 3 gold chains and a Rolex watch. The weapon used in the crime was described as a semi-automatic handgun. ABC7 reported that the man had been driving a Rolls-Royce and that it was registered to entrepreneur Andrew Lee, who was the crown prince of the imperial family of Korea and founder of London Trust Media. Lee was heir to the Joseon dynasty, which ruled Korea for centuries until 1897. Olympic Station police said the victim was a male between the ages of 25 and 30 years old. They're urging anyone with information about the robbery to contact them or Crime Stoppers. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
Statewide reservoir storage has dipped below historic average due to the driest 3-year stretch in the state's history. The ongoing drought has put stress on the state's water supply.
According to California Water Watch, the state's water data tracker, reservoir storage had dipped 69% below average at the end of September. This is due to a lack of consistent precipitation. The state's largest water reservoirs, Lake Oroville and Lake Shasta, are currently around half of historical averages. But some smaller water supplies are even drier. Pine Flat Reservoir in Fresno County has the lowest capacity of the state's reservoirs at only 16%. Lake McClure in Mariposa County currently sits at 18% compared to the 42% of historic capacity. Trinity Lake is the 3rd lowest reservoir in the state at 22% capacity. Historically, it sits at 38% this time of year. San Luis, Casitas, Folsom, and Sonoma reservoirs are all at 25% capacity and are holding about half of historical levels. As California's drought shows no sign of slowing down, residents are encouraged to continue conserving water.
Los Angeles has launched a program aiming to hire youth to clean up public spaces along the river. The program is the first of its kind for the city.
On November 17th, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti launched the LA River Rangers program. The program will bring in 137 youths who will help care for 18 miles of public paths, trails, and bridges along the Los Angeles River. Garcetti said in a press release that our river has become a remarkable treasure, a place for families and friends to connect with the natural world, and a new artery that takes Angelinos around our city where they need to go without a car. He also says the program will help young Angelinos to gain valuable skills and boost future pursuits to jumpstart their career. The organization Californians for All Youth Corps is funding the initiative through a $5.2 million grant. The funds are set to cover 18 months and will be managed by the Los Angeles Conservation Corps. Garcetti's office said the funding can serve as a launch pad to make the program permanent. People up to 30 years old can apply to work in the program and can be either part or full-time. Applications can be submitted only at hirelaYouth.com.
We are going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we got for you when we come back. Holiday season is just around the corner, and friends and family are hitting the road to see their loved ones. We'll look at how travel levels are changing compared to the last several years. And speaking of Thanksgiving, the spirit of holiday is really in the air with volunteers at Sacred Heart. We'll hear about their dedication to bringing special meal boxes to people in need. And speaking of special meals, chocolate was on the menu for many guests, as well as one of our reporters in San Francisco last weekend. We'll take a look at what the Holiday Chocolate Salon had to offer. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, Liang Zhang. Disneyland has halted the sales of its annual pass after being available for only one day. This comes after a previous 6-month suspension of all its passes.
Following a 6-month suspension, Disneyland resumed the sale of its annual passes on November 16th before stopping all purchases just one day later. The passes available for purchase were the Magic Key, Inspire Key, and the Imagine Key. According to the park's website, Disney paused its annual pass sales and will renew any current pass holder if they are within 30 days of their expiration date. Disney says, quote, "We have stopped sales of new passes at this time to help protect the experience for Magic Key holders and the value those passes provide." Disneyland closed during the pandemic for 13 months from March 2020 through April 2021. When the park reopened, attempts to reduce capacity were implemented, such as requiring more reservations and limiting attendance. Media reports that the Magic Key program began in August 2021 after the former annual pass system was terminated earlier in the year in January.
The holidays are almost here and travelers already hit the rails and skies on Monday, getting an early jump for the Thanksgiving weekend. While some travelers are keeping economic issues like inflation in mind, other travelers only have one concern in mind: getting to see their family.
As people start their Thanksgiving break early, travel experts predict this year's crowds to rival those of 2019. Remote work is allowing some travelers to leave earlier or return home later, spreading out the holiday rush over more days than usual.
Well, we have some family coming in from Ireland, so we're excited to see them, while joining Grandma and Grandpa in San Francisco and Auntie Katie.
For some, costs are a secondary concern as people make the trips to visit loved ones, but others have to work around the pricey tickets.
I think the cost of travel is definitely up, so that's why we came in a little bit early, and we're going to be going home a little bit earlier. But because the cost of everything's up also, we had the credit card points to get the flights. The economy is a little concerning, but that's life, and we still got to spend time with the family and people, because that's more important than just things.
Well, currently my car is messed up, but I was gonna fly over here, but it was too expensive. They wanted it like $300 for a one-way, and I was like, well, that's too much. And I found out the Amtrak, only $42 one way.
The Transportation Security Administration screened nearly 2.33 million travelers on Sunday, surpassing the 2.32 million on the Sunday before Thanksgiving in 2019. AAA predicts that nearly 55 million people in the U.S. will travel at least 50 miles from home this week, an increase over last year and only 2% less than in 2019. Airlines say they're ready for crowds. They're aiming to avoid a repeat of widespread delays and cancellations that hit some holiday weekends during late spring and early summer this year.
The holidays are not just busy for shoppers, but also the busiest time of the year for nonprofits helping those in need. NTD's David Lam hears how one local community spot gives from the heart.
For many of the volunteers here, the start of their holidays means giving back to the community. So before they spend time with their own families, they're making sure those in need could also have a warm holiday.
Every year, the Sacred Heart Community Service Center puts up a holiday food boxes and distribution event in San Jose, and their volunteers drive it home. Some people, like Cindy Graham, have volunteered every Tuesday for several years now.
I'm 70, and I'm proud of it. So, 70 years old, and most of my co-workers are some of them are older, and yet we all want to give back to the community.
The team's goal this year for its 58th annual event is to distribute turkey, chicken, and all the food behind them to 4,000 families by Wednesday.
Onions and carrots and potatoes and squash and eggplant, milk, eggs, bread, desserts.
The nonprofit Sacred Heart was founded in 1964 to feed hungry families. A manager told us that people as far as Redwood City came by to pick up their Thanksgiving dinner boxes this week.
We are having a lot of people line up early. There's really no need to because we're not going to run out of turkey. So today we are open from 9 to 6, and then tomorrow we'll be open from 9 to 12.
rents increased pretty significantly right now, especially just over the last couple of months. And so we're seeing a lot of families experiencing deeper level of need and coming more often to us for actually help or support.
A box of, food that is just tremendous. This last year, I found out that I had aplastic anemia, which is a blood disease. It's really about becoming content with what you have and being grateful. And so, even though, I may have this blood disease or whatever, I still have a lot to be grateful for. I have an 18-month-old daughter that just, is just #blessed. It's just the love of my life.
The food is donated by other agencies and the community stopping by.
Dropping off a turkey is a tiny piece of it, but the work that they do day in and day out all year long is really amazing.
I'm just happy to be here. And this is one thing that I don't want to miss, is my Tuesday morning at Sacred Heart. And next week I'm doing 3 days, so it's like, this is what I want to do.
While this food distribution ends on Wednesday, heartfelt efforts from volunteers like Graham keep Sacred Heart's name beating strong. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
From chocolate bars to chocolate-dipped mangoes, the San Francisco Fall Holiday Chocolate Salon treated guests with all kinds of artisan varieties to kick off the holiday season. One of those guests was NTD's Jason Blair, who stopped by the popular event on Sunday to get a taste of the seasonal fare.
The annual Holiday Chocolate Salon in San Francisco features over 25 chocolatiers, sweets makers, and other artisans. I got to try a couple of samples myself already, and I tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing what else this festival has to offer. Chocolate bars, chocolate truffles, chocolate bonbons, fudge, hot cocoa, toffee, the list goes on.
It's a balance between getting to everyone as quickly as possible and making sure that you're taking the time to really taste it and you're not overloading on some really amazing chocolate.
Yeah, it's great. This is always around Thanksgiving, so the holidays, people stocking up for the holidays, or we've got Thanksgiving coming and Christmas and Hanukkah and everything. And of course, chocolate makes a great gift, a great treat for yourself. We love it. This is our 7th year being here. It was, we were down during COVID, but we're thrilled to be back. It's exciting to be in person again after so long being away from people.
Michael's Chocolates is an artisan handmade chocolate company based in Oakland, California.
We have our Whiskey Lovers collection, which is probably our most popular, featuring a bourbon caramel pecan bonbon and an Old Patro rye. So for the whiskey lover in the world, whiskey and chocolate, amazing combination. And then this is our Good Food Award collection. We've won 2 national awards from the Good Food Foundation, and these are the 2 flavors, our Lemon Burst and our Earl Grey with lemon.
Chocolate maker The Good Chocolate has a special style for making their candies, using organic sweeteners like erythritol, which is found in pears and apples.
Really proud that we are able to make something that's good and sweet without using sugar.
Estes said that their award-winning Himalayan and sea salt bar has been their most popular. They also brought special gift boxes for the holidays.
So we are introducing these cool new gift boxes that hold 3 bars. It's in a pretty box like this.
Attendees were excited about getting to sample so many delicious varieties.
We just really love chocolate, and it's really nice to see all the different types of flavors and different takes on such a normal thing for us, because we typically just eat dark chocolate, and there's so many different unique flavors here, so it's been a cool experience.
The Gufraus, the German dark chocolate, has been an absolute favorite. We did that one as our second chocolate, and then we circled around, tried everything else, and it was by far our favorite. Bought 2 bags.
It was really silky, wonderful flavor with an awesome mouthfeel, which is something I've never talked about before, but I actually enjoyed it very much. So that one is absolutely our favorite.
Yeah.
The festival was held for 1 day and attracted a wide range of chocolate lovers. The event is looking forward to being back again for their spring version in 2023. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for an update on sports.
I'm Thomas Christian, giving you the California Today Sports Roundup.
Videos began circulating around the internet on Monday showing Aaron Judge checking into a San Francisco hotel. Speculation was immediately made about the possibility of Judge discussing a contract with the San Francisco Giants. The American League MVP was made a free agent after a lackluster showing in the postseason with the New York Yankees, but Judge is still a highly sought-after target by almost every other major league team. The Giants especially would do well to sign Judge after ending their season 81-81 and missing the playoffs. Additionally, Judge grew up just outside of the Bay Area in Linden, California. In the fourth ever NFL game played in Mexico City, the 49ers opened up a beating on their divisional rival to remain undefeated in the NFC West. In San Francisco's third straight win, the team rattled off 5 touchdowns across their various talented playmakers, new and old. Wideout Brandon Ayuk caught 2 early TDs and George Kittle grabbed 2 end zone strikes to go along with 84 receiving yards. Deebo Samuel rushed for 1 more touchdown and ended the night with 37 rushing yards and 57 receiving yards. Running back Christian McCaffrey also caught 7 balls for 67 yards and converted another 7 rushing attempts into 39 yards on the ground. Quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo completed 20 of his 29 passing attempts for 228 yards and 4 touchdown passes. The game remained close going into halftime with the 49ers up 17-10, but turned into a complete rout in the second half. San Francisco's defense closed the door on any comeback attempt by Arizona, and the unit ended the night with 3 sacks and 2 interceptions. The 49ers improved to 6-4 and will play the Saints at home next Sunday. 49ers 38, Cardinals 10. Now over to the hardwood, the Warriors' big 3 Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, plus Andrew Wiggins, all sat out of the Warriors' 45-point loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. Brandon Ingram scored a season-high 34 points, and Devontae Graham added a season-high 19 points off the bench for the Pelicans, who completed a 4-2 homestand. Zion Williamson returned from a 3-game absence caused by a bruised foot to get 9 points and 4 assists in 23 minutes. The Warriors, who won on the road for the first time this season one night earlier in Houston, did not play their stars because of health maintenance. Jordan Poole led Golden State with 26 points. Pelicans 128, Warriors 83. Norman Powell totaled 30 points and Reggie Jackson scored 27 to help the Clippers overcome Utah. Ivica Zubac contributed 14 points and 14 rebounds for the Clippers, who gave up a 17-point lead and then erased a 6-point fourth-quarter deficit to win their 3rd consecutive game. Jordan Clarkson led the Jazz with 26 points and Lauri Markkanen amassed 25 points and 10 rebounds as Utah saw its 2-game winning streak come to an end. The Clippers improved to 11-7 after knocking off first-place Utah. They are now just a half game back of the Jazz for the #1 spot in the Western Conference. Clippers 121, Jazz 114.
And that's all for sports.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with the friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm Liang Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.